Have you ever felt like something was following you? Your own footsteps suddenly sound like they belong to someone else. Or when you walk alone in the dark and suddenly your skin crawls, as if unseen eyes are watching you? That is the universal fear we've all experienced. And from that very fear came one of Iron Maiden's most iconic songs, Fear of the Dark. Released in 1992 on the album of the same name, Fear of the Dark marked a turning point in Iron Maiden's journey. The band had already been through a decade of glory in the 1980s, with legendary albums like The Number of the Beast and Powerslave. But by the early 90s, the world of rock was changing. Grunge was rising, Nirvana and Pearl Jam were dominating the charts, and many critics claimed that heavy metal was outdated. Iron Maiden refused to fade away. Instead, they responded with a song that proved heavy metal was far from dead, a song that tapped into something deeper than trends or fashion, a feeling that every single human being could relate to. At its surface, the song is about a person walking alone at night, haunted by the sensation that something is lurking in the shadows. Have you ever been alone at night? Thought you heard footsteps behind? This line pulls the listener in instantly, because let's be honest, we've all been there. But the brilliance of the song lies in its symbolism. Darkness is not just the absence of light here. It becomes a metaphor for the unknown, for the anxieties, doubts, and invisible fears that follow us throughout life. The shadows in the lyrics could be real, or they could just be creations of the mind. But to the one experiencing them, they feel terrifying. Fear of the dark can be understood in two ways. On the surface, it's about being afraid of the dark, a primal fear that dates back to humanity's earliest days when night meant danger. But on a deeper level, it represents the fear of things we cannot control, the future, uncertainty, even our own thoughts. Steve Harris, the bassist and songwriter, knew exactly how to capture this. By combining everyday fear with psychological symbolism, he created a song that feels both intimate and universal. Musically, the song is nothing short of a masterpiece. It opens with a slow, haunting acoustic guitar, like the calm before the storm, the silence that makes your heart race in the dark. Then suddenly, the heavy riff bursts in. It's loud, urgent, like panic flooding your body. Bruce Dickinson's voice rises and falls with the tension, narrating the experience as if he's telling us a ghost story. And then comes the chorus, Fear of the Dark, Fear of the Dark. I have a constant fear that something's always near. The repetition drives the point home. Fear doesn't just come and go. It lingers, it follows, it becomes part of us. While the studio version is powerful, Fear of the Dark truly comes alive on stage. During concerts, the opening notes alone are enough to send fans into a frenzy. But it's the chorus that transforms the experience. Tens of thousands of fans, from South America to Europe, all singing the chorus together at the top of their lungs. The line about fear becomes a unifying chant. What begins as a song about loneliness and paranoia transforms into a massive celebration of togetherness. This is the paradox of Fear of the Dark. A song about fear becomes a moment of collective strength. Fans don't just listen to it, they live it, they share it. And in sharing it, the fear itself loses its power. So why does Fear of the Dark remain so timeless, more than 3 decades after its release? Because it speaks to something we all know too well. Fear, uncertainty, the invisible weight of anxiety. Every generation has its own struggles, its own darkness. For some, it's the unknown future. For others, it's the battles within their own mind. This song reminds us that those fears are not unique. They are part of the human condition. And yet by singing about it, by facing it through music, Iron Maiden turns fear into empowerment. Fear of the Dark is more than a heavy metal classic. It is proof that music can capture universal emotions in a way that feels both personal and eternal. The song takes something as simple as being afraid of the dark and transforms it into art, into philosophy, into a communal experience. Today, more than 30 years later, the song still echoes with the same power. It still lights up stadiums. It still resonates with anyone who has ever felt the chill of being alone at night. Iron Maiden managed to do something extraordinary. They turned fear into beauty and left us with one of the most unforgettable anthems in metal history.